What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Six Gaming Podcast. Filling in for your host, as always, it's Ron Clay. Shosan is out cleaning his guns and got a little too exhausted, so now he's got to take a nap.
He's cleaning his guns.
You mean he got a little too excited there, Ron?
That's why I said it. So he's cleaning his guns.
Is he cleaning his gun or is he polishing his rifle?
Actually, both.
Both.
Now that you mention it, both. Yes. So, yeah, he's out tonight. But we do have a fine cast of characters here, and we're gonna start across the pond because we haven't seen this Murloc in a while.
Good morning.
Hello, Lorna. Glad to see you again. So,
Yes, it's lovely.
So we get another episode where we make fun of British pronunciation.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to do at 4 o'clock in the morning.
All right, and moving from east to west, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure where this would land. I think Morphod, you'd be next.
Hi there.
Hello,
I have
Morphod.
no idea why I'm here. I have no idea why I was here last week, but it seemed like the thing to do.
Because you're a masochistic asshole? I mean, that's the
No, just a massive one. That's why I'm on the show. Okay.
And sporting an excellent cough today, we have Pantherian.
What's up?
And finally, the largest man we've ever had on the podcast, and possibly the largest man in gaming.
Oh, God, no, that's a fucking lie in itself. And I'm dead.
How's it going, Veg?
It's going
Is that a
great.
beer?
I don't look forward to moving.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're moving, so we're not going to see this lovely angle of your place anymore.
Yeah, the white, the off-white. The way it
If
comes
I-
together in a corner.
If I didn't play Descent, I would have just gotten dizzy.
Oh, dear.
Yes. So, all right. So, we have a bunch of news this week, and let's just get right into it. Let's get into the first half of the show, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, this is Shosan's favorite part of the show. This is news. I can't do it like he does.
News, everybody.
I just can't. I
Other
might
end of the
use that.
spectrum.
I might use that. All right. So up first. How many people here have played Team Fortress 2?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I love Team
Two,
Fortress.
three.
Hats.
Yeah, hats or
Yeah,
I
hats.
do
yeah.
have played Pet Simulator 2010.
So apparently, Team Fortress 2 is finally getting in on the whole competitive scene and implementing a competitive matchmaking beta, which
Not
is
sure how that's going to
interesting.
go.
In what way? I mean, they have a proven concept with CSGO. What would be different about putting it into TF2?
I imagine the better you do, the better hats you get.
Well, I mean, not sure how that's going to go, but
Well, they're saying they're drawing inspiration from CS:GO, but it's still they still don't have all the details on how the matchmaking will function within the game. This game is 9 years old now,
Mhm.
so
It
it's
came out
getting up
with
there.
the orange box, so it would have been with episode 1 or 2, was it?
2.
So
But yeah, and for whatever reason, they had just recently had a new peak for concurrent players at 67,000 playing at one time. That's like the most that they've ever had.
that is an awful lot of hats.
Yes, that's a lot of hats.
Now, this is definitely very curious to me because I used to play competitive TF2, and in fact used to operate one of the smaller we called them PUG services, pickup game services. You had to go to third-party operations that were sometimes very informal, and then you had a lot of stuff that became more and more automated to be able to handle a larger volume of people. Hey, we wanted to try to get as many competitive players together as possible. So this is a real big step, and I just know that all the people on, oh goodness, what was it, TF2 Pugs or something like that? I don't know. It's been a couple of years since I last did it, but all the pickup game services are going. All the people that play on there are going to have grief with whatever way is implemented by Valve. So I'm certain there's going to be a lot of growing pains, but I also think it's going to be very good for the competitive community
Yeah, so it
in the
sounds
long run.
I mean, they're definitely picking up on the whole esport vibe that's been coming across, with the League of Legends, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, StarCraft 2.
Hell,
They're a little
Activision
late to the
buying
party.
MLG.
Yeah, there's that too. They're a little late to the party in terms of getting into it, but I mean, when you have a game that old, I imagine that they don't have nearly as many active developers as they did back in the day when they were first developing it. It might take them a while to get into it. Who knows? But yeah, Ved, you actually brought up something that I wanted to bring up and completely forgot about. That this was a while ago, though. I don't think we ever brought this up on the podcast that Activision actually did buy Major League Gaming.
Yes, for $45 million, wasn't it?
It was $46 million, yes.
No, that was close enough.
Which is interesting because I don't know how much Blizzard had to do with Major League Gaming, but Major League Gaming goes all the way back to 2001.
Yeah, it's been around for a good while. Blizzard the only thing that they've really done with MLG was a couple events with StarCraft 2, and that was it.
Well, that's about it. I even remember that MLG for a very short amount of time featured Descent 3 as one of its games, so that's how I remember it. But it wasn't very long at all. It was like for 6 months maybe they had it up there, and then they took it down because no one really played it. So, but yeah, that was that is very interesting. Well, this is kind of funny because they I accidentally found a esports page for, and you might know this name, Morphod, Fatal, for winning $50,000 from the Descent 3 tournament.
No, not big Descent 3 guy.
Yeah, so
sorry.
It's kind of funny that they have this up there. August 28th, 1999. But yeah, I mean, MLG's been around for a while, and they've just gotten bigger and bigger over time, especially with esports growing. So, yeah, putting this under Activision Blizzard, it really cements them as a powerhouse in esports right now. Really, I'd say their only big competitor right now would have to be Riot Games.
Riot and Valve.
Call it Tencent, I guess, now.
Yeah.
Since Tencent pretty much scooped them up. Yeah, Valve 2, I would say not so much, though.
Well, you got Dota 2, and then you also have CSGO.
Yeah, those are the two big ones, obviously, and now TF2 also coming around. So
they're pretty much a big. I mean, they draw crowds, not nearly as big as Riot right now. No.
Yeah, Riot filled frickin' World Cup stadiums for their games. It's crazy.
Well, Dota 2 filled up a 30,000 stadium not that long ago.
Yeah,
for the one of the it was either the 20 million or the 10 million that they did.
Yep. Anyway, I know we have a couple people that have played the Saints Row series here.
Yep.
And they were going to put out a game for the PSP called Undercover, but it never saw the light of day. It got canceled. Well, apparently on the 28th, the developer of the game started live streaming it. I don't know if it was on Twitch or where it was, but during the live stream, they dropped a link to download the prototype of the game. And now that game is available on Unseen 64. You can download it and play it with a PSP emulator.
Get the fuck out of here.
And apparently it is okay by volition.
Sounds like they did that on purpose.
Wow.
It could be, indeed, since it's canceled. I mean, yeah, it's not a finished game, but it still does exist. Looks pretty bad for a game of that caliber, though, but still.
It's a PSP game.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's only so much room there to render it's Saints Row, right? So, like, we're trying to render a dildo.
Pretty much. They have a 122-page document, PDF document, that it's basically... It states things such as their design goals, the functionality of the game, and going into weapons systems, combat mechanics, AI. Basically, a big old design document, which they released as well. Which,
kind of cool.
For like the average gamer, it might not be that interesting, but if you're like a game developer, it's pretty cool to go through and see what exactly are they thinking. Because I mean, they go through a whole bunch of really in-depth stuff in this document. It's pretty cool to look at. So yeah, Saints Row. I wonder if Dan Wentz did the music for that.
Don't know.
He did. I think every other Saints Row except for one. Should be interesting. I'll have to check that out. Anyway, we also got Heroes of the Dorm announced. Of course, that fail of a tournament last year was
Yeah, that did not go well.
did not go well at all. But they're returning for 2016.
Remind me what happened.
Basically, a lot of games didn't get played.
Huh.
They scheduled the games during spring break, and a lot of teams couldn't make it, and they had trouble doing makeup games. There's all kinds of
So
bad stuff. I
basically,
don't
they
remember
did the
everything
opposite of what Riot did.
pretty much. But they're coming back this year. They have $500,000 of scholarship money on the line, and it'll be the same thing. It'll be broadcast over ESPN for the finals, possibly probably the semifinals as well. Or the early rounds will even be on ESPN3, which is kind of cool.
I could already see butthurt sports fans already hearing this now.
No kidding. The winning team will walk away with $75,000 in tuition money, which is really cool. And then the
It kind of
finals.
makes me happy that they're doing that.
It is. It's. I wouldn't say it goes as far as legitimizing esports, but they recognize that this is an entertaining event, and in order to get people to come play, they're offering a pretty deep prize pool here.
Well, I don't know
Right,
if you know about the whole NCAA shit that's been going on, like with March
I try to
Madness.
avoid that.
Yeah. Well, with the politics with that is, I hope they don't involve that with esports. I really don't, because that's going to be fucking horrible.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad. But
So they're offering this scholarship money. So in other words, we're going to compensate you for the loans that you will not be able to get because your kill-to-death ratio is now higher than your GPA.
pretty much.
Okay, got it.
Registration open through February 18th. The dates start March 19th is when they'll first start playing with the grand finals on ESPN2 on April 10. So if you're
I don't really mind Heroes of the Storm, but I think it is a good idea that they're doing that, as well as Riot. I think Dota has something in the works right now, but I don't know what they have planned out too much.
Right. All right. So that is Heroes of the Dorm. We also have. You guys remember? It was a while ago, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, we covered Sony attempting to trademark the phrase "Let's Play."
Yep.
And
What?
yeah, they tried to do this. However,
I'm
the
sorry,
US
I'm going to have to switch to liquor for this.
uh
Where the fuck is it?
oh, it's under your desk. Remember, under your desk. Unless you moved it since last week. Oh God, he's gonna get something to drink. Speaking of which, Dan, what are you drinking?
Nothing right now.
Nothing. Oh, well, that's why you're coughing.
Yeah, well, I was gonna go to sleep, but then Lorna came and made me come back.
Yes.
Basically, he's calling us assholes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
assholes.
pretty much. Lorna's been on mute like the whole time too.
Yeah, she never
I
talked to
mean,
me.
But anyway, while more thoughts getting a drink, we'll talk about the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has now said that the phrase "Let's Play" is merely descriptive,
Mhm.
which means they probably will not be able to trademark the phrase.
Good.
It's
Well,
about time that office did something intelligent.
It's kind of like me saying, "Oh, I want to trademark the word fart because I do that all the time."
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody else does it, but mine are particular. I must have that word because of that.
Yep. And then
you also
the
got
other
pretty.
the other funny thing about that is that it initially got refused because they found Let's Play too similar to Let's LETZ Play, which is already held by a Georgia company.
God damn it.
So, I mean, they've tried twice now to trademark this and have failed both times. It's looking good that this phrase isn't going to get trademarked. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony found a way, but because there are so many common uses of the phrase "Let's Play" in video gaming, they're probably not going to be able to actually trademark it.
Damn it, Sony! Knock your stupid shit off. You're working worse than Xbox right now, or
Or
Microsoft.
some EA.
Okay,
No,
so
no, nothing could ever beat that. They just need to do one. They just need to release games, and they fuck up.
This is your chance, Lorna. You can do it.
Huh? What?
She's falling asleep over there, I think.
7 hours is not enough.
What am I saying?
No, I'm saying that you can trademark Let's Play in Britain.
But she would have to spell it like LEUT''S
Let's Play.
PLAUY.
Let's play.
Yeah,
I think there's a
just
silent K in there too, but they don't acknowledge that letter over there.
yeah, that's right. So.
Why are you
All
so
right.
mean? Why are you so mean?
Well, what's mean about that? Anyway, so that'll do it for the first half of the podcast. So we're going to move on to Shosan's favorite part, the second half of the podcast, out of 4. If you're wondering. And
That's pretty
we don't
rough.
have a title for this. Penth calls it Shitty Minutes. So, Penth, you can go first.
I don't have anything.
You have
I just,
nothing,
I put it up there in case anybody has anything. My kid's sick again, or was sick this week. Just 'cause-
Yeah, what's up with that? Your kid is like a walking virus.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of which, he's waking up, so I will be back.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear him.
And then you're moving, right, Pidge?
Yeah, I'm moving. Fortunately, I have about 95% of it packed. So.
Packing is fun. We still have a lot of our stuff packed and sitting in storage. Not fun. Huh?
Yeah. Well, fortunately for us, we're using everything we pack. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But-
So the only part is moving it.
Yes. So over to Lorna here. What have we've missed you? Where have you been?
My house is imploding.
It's-
Everything I own is just blowing up.
It's blowing.
That's
up.
not. That's
That
not
would be
important.
exploding.
No, because I figure it's going to implode in one singular point in time before it'll actually explode. And probably
Oh,
take out the whole of the UK.
Jeez. That's
Fucking
fun.
British physics here.
You know, you know the appliance in my house, and I've probably blown it up or it's broken, and also outside the house the car's gone as well.
Ah,
Good God!
jeez.
Are you playing Demolition Man?
Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go.
She's not a man. Just saying.
Demolition Person? Who gives a fuck?
All right.
Demolition.
Just if you hear like the tremors and there's an earthquake, then you know then my house is just gone.
Well, you're across the pond, so it would be a tsunami over here. So
Yeah, we just get drowned pretty much. Especially me. I'm like pretty close to the coast. So. All right. So what's been going on in Pennsylvania?
Jack Diddley.
Oh,
There's snow on the ground. My tires
Lots of
still leak
snow.
on my car. So,
have you shown these guys what Descent has done to your hand?
oh yeah, this bastard is. I don't know. You guys familiar with a ganglion cyst? I don't know. It might be
Right
just
there.
a little too whitewashed here. Let me get it darker.
No, I'm good. I don't like
There you
this.
go, right there. Isn't that
Look at
gorgeous?
that. Nice big old bump.
Well, they usually form on the other side of the wrist on the back, and they're typically called Bible cysts because the way that people dealt with them is they took the biggest, fattest, heaviest book they had around, and since they could only afford one book for the entire fucking county and they had to share it at the church, it was the Bible, and they would bring it down as hard as they can right on top of the thing, just rupture it, and
Stop!
I
Please
want to do
continue.
that. Let me
Please
do that to
continue.
you.
No, but mine's on the inside of the wrist, so as a result, it's in there near closer to the nerves, and it's much more unpleasant. I mean, the only way to get rid of it is surgery or get it drained. And right now,
You
it's not
should
really
video
hurting,
the
but I
draining
can't.
and post it to our popping.
Well, getting it drained. This little thing. Actually, there are ones on YouTube of the big ones you get on the back of your hand, but the one on the
Yeah.
inside of your wrist, it just presses on the nerves a little bit and gets a bit of grief. But if this doesn't really improve, I mean, just today I started actually feeling a little bit of numbness from it. If that's the case,
Ooh.
I may have to refrain from playing video games for a little while.
God damn it.
Oh, TMI, TMI. All right.
Give me a bottle of whiskey and a needle and a lighter, and I'll pop that thing.
Well, that's the thing is
You need the bottle of
what's
whiskey.
inside of it is so viscous that you have to use like the largest fucking gauge needle. It's not
She doesn't
pleasant.
have a
I
problem.
mean, it's not horrid. It's just not pleasant.
All right. Such fun. All right. Anyway, just wanted to cap this section off. I've been actually doing a lot of programming in the last week. All kinds of things. I've been mucking around with my website, mucking around with the Descent source code, and getting
You
nothing
broke
done.
everything.
Oh God, I break so many things. It's not even funny. We were Morphod can attest to this. We were flying around earlier, and something got broke, and it's like, oh yeah, I broke that. So a lot of fun breaking stuff. Anyway,
What are you,
Not
Linda?
that you
What are
weren't
you,
such a
Fred Durst?
fucking idiot.
yeah. Don't try this programming thing at home, folks. It's
Isn't that where you're supposed to do it?
no. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna move on to the next. This is the third half of the podcast show. It's your favorite, I know. So, podcasters, what you playing? And Lorna, we haven't talked to you in forever. So
I'm
you
going
have a
through
big-
loads of crappy kind of iPad games. I can't settle on any decent ones at the moment.
That's
Apart
because there
from
isn't any decent ones.
there has to be some decent ones out there.
Is
But other than that, I'm still stuck in Fallout 4, building houses.
Oh, that's right. I remember you posting something about that, about losing 4 hours of your time building houses and saying how pathetic that was. I'm like, that's nothing.
It was one shack I built in 4 hours, but now I can knock up a whole city in like a couple of hours. I'm a pro now.
Wow. Anything else you've been working on? Just
Um,
Fallout 4, pretty much.
Yeah, really. Until someone comes up with a decent iPad game.
Nope.
Lorna, the Room 3 came out, I think.
Yeah, I've done that.
I figured. You're the one who told me about the first one, so.
All right. So, Veg, in between packing, what have you been doing?
I've been playing a lot of League of Legends lately because I'm a masochist.
Yeah, obviously.
I've also been playing a game that Cole's introduced me called Blade and Soul. And what that is well, you guys announced that last week, didn't you?
I don't think so,
I
no.
don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, so
I don't remember
So
that.
Blade and Souls is an MMO. It's been out for 5 years in Japan. It just not that long ago got released in America for whatever reason. And it's a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a blast playing it so far. It's a lot harder than I thought it was because you got to remember a lot of combos, like which combo does that, which combo does that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And right now the highest level cap is, I think it's 45 for now.
Interesting.
Are you at 45 yet?
No, I'm 24, and
Play
I've
more.
only been playing it for 2 days. So
Very cool.
my MMO, geniusness has been showing up in it. Like, oh yeah, I need to do this to level up that, or oh hey, don't stand in shit because if you do, you usually get one shot. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's typical MMO right there.
Yeah. Also in League of Legends, I've been trolling and then been failing miserably.
You,
Like
how do you
bringing
fail at trolling?
easy when you bring heal on Elise as the jungler.
But you failed at it.
Not really. I've actually been doing pretty okay on Elise because they buffed her. My favorite champion, which is ironic because she's a spider.
Yes. And we all know how you feel about spiders.
Hey,
Fuck
Veg,
them.
did you look at my video that I posted for you?
I fucking hate you.
Oh, spiders everywhere. All right. Dan, in between coughing. Jesus, you got Veg sick. Well done.
I
Well
Oh
done.
god! Thank God I'm over here on this side of the video chat. You just got to go all through those guys.
I didn't give him the robot virus that I used to have, so at least that's good, right?
Yes.
Diablo 3, mostly. It's really easy just to jump in and out, play for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and not commit to anything. It's like you're playing with other people, but you don't even have to say a word to them. It's just semi-social.
Except
So
for
I
when
like
they
that.
screw out of bandit rifts.
Yeah, well,
Ugh.
that happened this week.
What happened?
There was I was in a bounty group, and I think one of the guys was Chinese or Japanese or something based on his username, and he definitely there's no goblin packs and bounties, are there? I've never run into one, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. But there's either a goblin pack or a bounty shrine, and they just let every
Yeah,
single
so
one
it would be a
escape
bounty
without
shrine
telling
in
anyone.
Adventure.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
lovely. Well,
there's a bandit
the
shrine
thing
out that
is
way.
that I had that happen to me last season. I had that happen to me last season where I saw a bandit shrine, but I didn't realize it was a bandit shrine, so I just clicked on it. And I'm like, oh crap, what have I done? And half of them escaped, and someone was like really ticked off. But the way I see it is that if you're in adventure mode doing bounties with a group, your goal is to clear the 25 bounties as a group as fast as you can.
Sure.
The bandit shrine gets in the way of that. So if somebody
Uh,
gets a bandit shrine, I don't even go to them.
I usually go. I mean, it's worth the stuff. Um, and then in the same group, they turned in 2 of the acts in the wrong order. So
Oh.
I pieced out of that.
Oh man, tards, I swear.
Yeah, it was a pretty fail group. So that was
For those that
that was
don't know,
frustrating.
if you turn in the act bounties in the wrong order in Diablo 3, you're supposed to turn in the one that gives you the bonus cash. And when you do that, you get double the loot pretty much. But if you turn in a different act first, you only get 1 of the bonus caches instead of 2.
Right.
And that's bad.
And that just pisses everyone in the game off.
And there's like no reason to do it. Like it doesn't take much.
The only reason is not paying attention.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had a group that cleared like we did the first 2 acts in order, and then we just kind of like randomly split it off and finished the last 3 acts, and had them all done around the same time. But that group was intelligent enough to do the turn-ins on the acts in order, because you can clear the 5 bounties on any act. It's when you turn in the very last quest that you get the extra cash.
Right. It's when you talk to Tyrael.
Yeah, so
I've also
there's
been
no excuse
playing-
for that, really.
I've been shamefully playing the new Candy Crush game a little bit.
What?
I saw a
Wait,
commercial
what?
for it. What?
Well, hold on. What?
Yeah.
If you saw a commercial for
Repeat that,
jumping
repeat
off a bridge, would
I
you
would-
buy it and put it on your fucking iPhone?
Yes. I would play a game where you jump off a bridge on an iPhone.
Jesus Christ.
Get the fuck off this podcast.
Yeah. So
I mean, what are you doing, dude?
I figured I'd give it a try. It's good time wasting once in a while.
I can think of 20 things that
Read a fucking book.
and one of them could give you a cyst on your wrist.
Yeah.
Can we not? Can we stop with that? I'm gonna smack some people.
If you could smack this,
could smack some
go
paper.
away, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, please do.
It's an exorcism at that point.
Oh, very nice.
The power of Christ come.
What made you do this? I gotta know, because it's Candy Crush. You have to know Candy Crush. It's
Sure.
bad.
No, it's just like a kind of like a mindless. Although every once in a while, part of it is some of the guys that I work with are like super good at it, and so they're like talking about what level they're on or whatever. So I was getting in on the conversation, but for the most part, it's just something else to play.
There's no other way that you can connect with your coworkers.
Nope.
There's not even a calendar of attractive women on the wall you can argue over.
No.
You're not in a blue-collar job, are you? Never
Anyway,
mind.
I'm in support of Dan. They are good toilet games. I call them toilet games. You sit on the
Toilet
toilet and you play the game.
That's why I said get a fucking book. You can read a book on the shitter.
Also, I was playing Brick Breaker Hero, which is like a Arkanoid
Did
style
you say
game.
Shitbreaker Hero?
Brick, shit like shit a brick, but brick, just the brick
Oh,
without the shit.
Gotcha.
So Brick Breaker Hero. It's Arkanoid, Alleyway, any of those ball bouncy brick breaky games.
Yes.
It's got an RPG style to it.
How do you RPG a
Fucking brick.
You must rescue me,
Like-
princess.
Like your
No,
There's like a
is
wall,
guy-
and the princess is right there, and you just have to bounce it off the wall and break the
No,
wall.
your dude is a guy with a shield, and the ball bounces off your shield, and like you
Right.
have to hit creatures that are up with the ball to kill them.
Okay, so
Like,
yeah.
it's not like super complex.
Now, is it freemium or is it pay to win?
It's
And judging from the fact that it's got a map very similar to Candy Crush, I'm guessing pay to
yeah, it's similar. I mean, I haven't gotten to any level that couldn't be beaten without extras. It's just probably a matter of skill at some point, but you can probably progress much faster if you pay. But I haven't gotten to that point yet, so I don't know.
Interesting.
Anyway.
There used to be a game. I don't know where the hell it is now, but there used to be a game where you played the role of this spaceship, and all the levels would be just levels that you would bounce a brick off of things, and it's very much an Arkanoid game, but it had kind of an RPG element to it, not much like this, but I can't find it. I thought it was called Astro Bounce, but I can't find it at all.
Don't know.
Used to be on. I'm gonna look this up, and I'll get back to you once we're done. Oh, whoa! We have a space captain.
I was waiting for you guys to notice. I've been here for like 3 minutes now.
I've been looking on my other screen here, and not it.
Hi. Sorry, I haven't been to the podcast in a while. I've been
Yep.
busy.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. Fortunately for you, you're not the only one that doesn't know what 10 p.m. Central means. Showson doesn't know what it means either.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dan, anything else?
Nope.
Well,
Oh,
let's-
a little bit of Achaea again. Just
What?
dabbling. Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, right.
know, right?
All right. So, Mr. Space Captain, what have you been up to, sir?
Not fucking much.
Not just
I've-
much, but not fucking much.
Yeah. Some more Star Citizen stuff. I'm playing Star Citizen. Putting money into buying fake internet spaceships. And also writing and producing a sketch about it, which will be out probably sometime next week.
An
Yeah.
attempt to recoup your losses.
No. I'm still invested in it. I totally realize it's like a cognitive bias, probably wasting money kind of thing. But fake internet spaceships, I'm down.
Very nice.
I'm not gonna argue with that. I get fake skins on
Mhm.
games, so
Yeah.
I played a game where we had fake hats, so
Anything else?
Absolutely nothing else.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing else.
By the way, Dan, the game is called Alpha Bounce. It's at
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It's kind of pay to win because you get 3 free plays every day, but you can buy more.
Hmm.
And some of the outer levels get really hard. I've actually gotten pretty far in that game way back when. But yeah, alphabounce.com. It's interesting. Anyway, Morphod, what have you been up to other than trashing me at Descent?
well, other than school, which is taking up an enormous amount of my time. Uplink. You remember Uplink?
Is that the hacky game?
Yeah, it's the hacking game. I had received Hacknet, which is a it's an Uplink-esque game, a couple new elements there, but I was a little disappointed when I had completed the game in about 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours of gameplay for a hacking game. It's a little disappointed. So what did I do? Of course, I booted up Uplink, and I've gotten quite a bit further than I have before. I finally have actually started hacking into the local area network mini game, and so I'd have to say that the Uplink is still king of that style. The whole Hollywood version of hacking turned into a delightful little game that's only about 20 megs. So, and I'm just surprised that it still runs as. I figured it would have had compatibility issues, but it runs just fine on Windows 8. So,
What
Can,
was
can I
that?
just
You
say
have a message.
I
Unprofessional.
appreciate
Oops.
Yes, you are.
I appreciate that you said you booted it up because it's such an anachronism now. But all of the people here would still use it.
Well, don't you know that I'm a 45-year-old man?
You're grumpy drunk.
I'm fucking.
I still have Uplink.
Anything else exciting?
Well, then you should hack the world.
Yes, you should.
Anything else
Asshole.
exciting in my world? Unless you can get excited about math and complex numbers, no.
No.
Giggity.
Yeah. I don't think I could ever get excited about numbers. All right. So for me, of course, I've actually been quite busy with 2 games. One of which, of course, being Descent. Ended up getting a promotion challenge on the DCL. I'm back to silver. Yay.
Yay.
Morphod was late to the party. He did not get to participate in that, despite me texting him.
You texted me at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I get that text in the morning as I'm playing Keep the Bagel Down on the way driving to school because I had, of course, gotten into the liquor the night before, it being a school night. And and you expect me to understand what the hell it says you got to get in now. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Is get like
And while you
midnight
can,
or
is what I said.
something, and you're like, oh, well, it's too late now. Like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
I figured you'd figure it out at some point, but she did after
Whatever.
it was already full. Yes, so
My bagel was delicious.
took care of that in dramatic fashion. I actually beat 2 of the players. You can actually pass these challenges without winning a single game, and I won 2 of them, so I'll take that. And then Crypto the Necrodancer. You guys remember about a month and a half ago I participated in something called Conduit. Well, they had it again this time around, and this time around, I took it home, baby. First place.
Nice.
Yeah. So $150 for that, which means I'll be in no more Conduits, because once you win a Conduit, you're banned from Conduit.
Oh.
Forever?
Yeah, forever.
You are now too good. Bye.
Yes. Yes.
Veg,
Apparently,
we're looking at your back wall, by the way.
yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Spooty Biscuit.
You see, that's how fat he used to be.
Yes. But yeah, Spooty Biscuit won the first one, and I've won the 8th one now. So, in 7 or 8 months' time, I'll be as good as him, right?
No.
That's how it works.
No.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Because it's always linear, right?
Transitive property of
Always.
Crypto the Necrodancer is what that is. So, but yeah,
I believe in you, Ron.
thank you. So, of course, now that that's out of the way, the next big event is something they call Condor, which is basically a 6-week season with 12 games in it. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. See if I can't completely not suck my way out of that tournament. So there's that.
Well, I have to make fun of you for your Descent accomplishments. I didn't get in on that challenge, but I did challenge you after you made silver.
Yeah, we talked about that 20-5 already, as much as I was willing to talk about it.
Well, that's what would have happened, but well.
Of course, it wouldn't have mattered. I mean, even if you take Dravis's game and plug yours in, I still would have passed with one.
Go. I just meant to rip at you.
All right, so that will do it for what you're playing, which leads us to our final half, our 4th half of the podcast, because, halves, you got to have 4 halves, right? That's
You
our
can have as many
podcast is
halves
so
as you
cool
want.
that
Four
we have
halves.
we have 2 full parts. So we got 4 halves. And this is the 6 Gaming Roundtable, where we discuss on Shosan's favorite part of the podcast, by the way. We bring up a question, and we ask everybody a question, and everybody usually comes up with differing answers, and sometimes we have to break up fistfights between people. It's kind of cool, actually. So the question that we have this week is, and that's pretty interesting. Dan brought this one up. I wish Show was here for this one. The question is, what do you want to be different about this podcast? And do you feel that we're a podcast or more of a video talk show? And Dan, since you posed this question, and because I find it so interesting, I'm actually going to leave you for last. So Veg, you're one of the original guys. What do you think?
The way that we used to do it was, meh, it was really unorganized, kind of half-baked. I mean,
So basically, like it is today.
yes and no. We're a lot more organized than what we were. We actually have a pretty sturdy platform from what I would like to consider from anything. I do want to see more, like, if we ever get more people, more things to do with them, more interaction with the guests, more people.
By the way, we've had a decent number of people coming in and out of chat today. So
Yeah.
hi to our people, of course, Mr. Fu. We've got Safathi and Tanari Ironet also in
That
chat
card
right
of
now.
bias is in chat too.
Well, I wasn't
He's
gonna
come into
mention-
chat and not into the podcast itself. So. I don't
So-
know. Guess I'll mod him. That's what-
So, I mean, there's only so much you can do before just trying to straight up advertise. Because we've been lacking that.
Yeah, that's the thing is that for me, this podcast has been more about. I find it fun because we're just sitting here relaxing, unwinding, talking about what we all love to do. It hasn't really been that whole professional thing where we sit here and get paid to talk about maybe a specific game release or something. We're not into doing that kind of thing.
Not mind if we got paid to talk about a game release. Just to make that clear.
So there's that.
Oh my god, you guys, see that Battlefront? It's amazing.
Amazing.
5 out of 7
5 minutes.
We'll play again.
with rice.
And it's a slippery slope. The next thing you know, you're going to be doing plugs for the next fucking Candy Crush.
I don't think Dan would mind doing that.
Oh, you mean the King Gaming Podcast?
The King Gaming Podcast. Yeah. That's what Dan has started. Dan has started turning the Six Gaming Podcast into the
That's right.
King Gaming Podcast. I don't like where this is going.
The King Gaming Podcast saga?
I'm just gonna start streaming Candy Crush all the time.
God. Sounds like one of the people I know who used to stream Clash of Clans.
There are a lot of
Man.
people who still do that.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
We talked about that a couple times on the podcast about how there's some guy who's like sponsored by a company and he can only take like 20-minute sleeping breaks because then he has to get back and he's like the
Yeah,
top
we talked
player.
about him. Yeah, he doesn't do it anymore, but he used to do it, and it was just crazy.
I'm sorry, but fuck that.
Right?
Hey, if you're making lots and lots of money, you do what you gotta do.
Oh man. So
Is that how you justify hookering yourself? Prostituting yourself?
Thank
It's
you.
not the prostitute. Even a street hooker gets enough for sleep at night. You're talking about killing yourself.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah, we have that. Lorna, other than the time zone, what would you like to change?
I don't think I'd change much. I think it's more enjoyable when you're all discussing things that you really, really like over just randomly picking something on the news that you don't really care about.
Right. And I know, like, before the podcast, and this is kind of like breaking down the fourth wall here, so spoiler alerts. Before the podcast, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes before, we had zero to talk about for news. And what I did was very quickly go over to Polygon, and there's a ton of news on these sites. I mean, we could sit here for 24 hours talking about everything that's come up over the last week. We don't do that. What we try to do is focus more on the stuff that we enjoy. And that's pretty much why I picked what I picked for the news this week.
And sometimes there's just jack shit. Like, it's slim pickings.
Yeah. One of
we
the things
say
that we
live,
completely
we're
forgot
alive.
to talk about. One of the things that we completely forgot to talk about in news today was PAX South is going on in San Antonio.
Who
That's a
gives
thing. In fact, one of my buddies, my old Descent buddies, actually got himself a picture with Mr. Wingman Eric Peterson himself.
That's
Hmm.
cool.
Kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, so we got that going on, but I mean, we've tried covering the big conferences before. Like we had that big E3 extravaganza earlier. Last year we did that, and on one hand it was kind of neat, but on the other hand it got excessive to have to cover everything.
Yeah, I
And-
think we should pick a couple things out of it.
Yeah, and I think ever since then, I, I think we've realized that having all this news and some of it about stuff we don't even care about, excuse me, we just skip over it. We don't want to really cover this brand new IP that's coming out from Bethesda or something. We did it.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
No, you don't. You shut your
Well,
hole.
But if you want to, then you can, and that's
Yeah,
what's
if
the
you
point.
want to, then we do. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. I mean, if
You would have said EA, then no.
yeah, you know how much we talk about EA is SimCity failed to launch, that kind of thing.
Oh,
That's how much
God.
we talk about EA. Yeah.
The worst $80 I ever fucking spent.
Oh, you fell for that.
I bought the whole fucking thing.
Oh.
Even
I-
the little
I was-
fucking Ferris wheel.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so close to getting that, and then my wife's like, "Don't you do it."
Yeah, it's just.
And that is the
smart play.
last goddamn time I ever pre-order.
And you've never heard the story that I have. I was out here in the San Francisco Bay Area visiting when that game came out.
There were
And I
riots
had-
in the street.
Well, no. The guy's place I was staying at, his sister-in-law worked for EA.
Oh.
She was working on the Scrabble mobile game, and she was pulled off of her project along with everybody in the company so that they could take 8-hour shifts to monitor the SimCity servers to make sure that nothing went down. And when certain things happened, they had to make a phone call, and that is all they did for like a month.
Oh my god.
It's
And it still
such a
sucked.
train wreck, and it still sucked. Yeah, I mean it was still bad.
Oh,
But I mean that was the entire company was doing this. It's just mind-boggling. I mean EA is huge. That's just that was a pretty big fail. But stuff like that. I mean, we'll cover because we like to rib EA. I mean,
Who doesn't?
yeah. But as far as the stuff that we don't cover, I'm sure there's a ton of things that we missed that we would love to talk about. And I guess that just goes more towards.
And that was another thing. That was another thing, though, that we changed from the first round of podcasts that we did, because we kind of skimmed over the news. When we do here and there, but not as much as we used to, where it's like, oh yeah, this happened, cool beans. Next or going to the next article, we didn't really discuss it.
It
Yeah.
depends on what the story is, because sometimes it's like, oh, something happened, that's interesting, but like, there's not a lot to talk about. It's just like, oh, this is something people.
No,
should
I mean
know about.
we skipped over stuff that could have had discussion, and I wanted to have discussions, and then we just didn't for some reason.
Yeah, it's happened. I mean, I'm sure that's going to continue to happen. The one thing I did want to bring up about the old series, and Morphied, you don't know the whole history, but this is basically we call it like the second run of the podcast. I think our first episode for this run.
All
was
of you
on
can
Valentine's
run. I
Day.
think that one fellow over there can only walk.
Oh no, he can run, and it's terrifying. This guy, I was inside a Chick-fil-A, right? Behind a window.
You're done. You're done.
I
You
look,
said
I
everything.
look outside, and there he is, and then he runs into a freaking full sprint right at the window. I thought it was it. I thought I was gonna die. I mean, I didn't think there's any way he could stop, and somehow he did, just short of the window. So yeah, that was pretty scary. But anyway, what I want to say, this is our second series. Yeah, thanks, Mitch. It's our second series of the podcast. The first one was a little different. We had a new section. We had a game of the week section instead of what we were playing. We actually picked a game that we wanted to highlight for whatever reason, and that kind of got a little old because we started highlighting games that we weren't really playing, which was just it didn't work out. And then we had a third section. What was it? It was like, what the fuck are you listening to?
Yep. Well, it's
Yeah.
because we were rating whatever it was.
World of Warcraft.
Thunder. Was it Throne of Thunder?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know, but there's this big dinosaur in it named Thok, and so we said, "What the fuck are you listening to?" Where we just talked about music, and we kind of came up with a different music question every week. It's kind of like what the round table is, except music. And what we realized after a while is that it didn't really apply to what we were doing. Because we're supposed to be a
interesting
gaming
to talk
podcast.
about, but it was removed from gaming.
Yeah, so we ended up ditching that, and we started the whole second series. Like I said, started on Valentine's Day last year. I was sad I missed that episode. It was like I was like all into it. I was doing all the new graphics and stuff for it, and then I realized, oh crap, that I'm gonna be at dinner. Oh man, what the hell? And I couldn't make the episode. So
And he refused to broadcast from dinner.
Yeah, I know, right?
I thought about it.
Professional.
And of course, the only time I tuned in, Veg was like making fun of me or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he was like,
Ron.
"Oh, Ron, that fucking twat, waffle, douchebag, whatever."
And I still stand by that.
Yeah, I don't know how you stand by anything, but yeah. So there's that.
What's
But
that supposed to mean?
It suggests that you create an orbit.
yes, he does. we kind of like, or everything orbits around Veg. So that's that. But yeah, I think that's. I mean, that's pretty much how the podcast has gone. I mean, we've kind of evolved over time. We've kind of changed to what we like to do and stuff like that. So, Damien, what do you think? You haven't been on quite as long as Veg, but
No. I think. I don't know. Well, for some reason, I think talk show, and this might just be to my exposure to television when I was younger. Talk show is like, you have guests come on who have notoriety, right?
Mhm.
Or you have interviews or whatever with them. We don't have anything like that.
We have discussed doing that, but we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
Jonathan's tried.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's kind of hard to do with the lack of a big audience.
well, and part of what happens is we have like guest hosts, and then they just kind of become regular hosts. So
Yeah.
which is fine. But I think at some point we're going to have to figure out what to do because we can't have like 12 hosts
Right.
every week.
Yeah, I think we've had like 8 or 9 at most at once, and that got pretty chaotic.
Oh yeah, it gets pretty messy with a lot of hosts.
But fortunately, there's a positive to having a whole bunch of hosts. That means the situation that we had for episode 49, where it was just me and Dan, that doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to,
No.
which is cool because like a 2-person episode. I'll be honest, it can be good, but you don't have a whole lot of people to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, it's a lot more relaxed though.
Yes, that's true.
I liked that podcast. I listened to it on the way to work. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Mhm.
But with that said, me and Morphod do a 2-man podcast pretty much right now, and it's
Well,
working out pretty good.
A lot of podcasts out there are 1, 2, 3 people. That's just not how ours has been.
One-person
Yeah.
podcast sounds weird.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and over to myself with the latest in the news. Take it away, me. If
Actually,
I get back here before myself, stop me.
there are a lot of one-person podcasts, but they're usually about really weird things, like the shadow government and how much gold you should buy.
Yeah, those are 1-person podcasts for a reason.
Yeah, and they're all over iTunes. I guarantee you.
Well, I mean, not necessarily just that are always one person, but I don't know if you listen to 99% Invisible, a pretty good podcast. The guy's name is, I think, Roman Mars, I think is the name, the guy who does it. And he talks about just interesting stuff that you don't think about, like who invented barbed wire and why. And he just tells you about some interesting thing that you kind of have skipped over in your life without ever really acknowledging it. And he occasionally has a co-host or interviews people, but it's really just him talking about the thing.
That sounds really cool, actually.
I think there's
I
one
recommend
person,
it.
I think there's one person here that could do a 1-man podcast would be Morphod. Because you actually could do that with Jimmy Russell's.
With Jimmy Russell's. These guys don't know Jimmy
They don't know
Russell's.
Jimmy Russell's.
They're-
They will have to learn at some point.
Well,
Maybe
Jimmy
not
Russell.
today, but
Not today, because it's nearly midnight, and I would wake up the entire neighborhood. But on occasion, I do have. No. We got Hank Hill will sometimes try to sing a modern song. But he winds up just reciting it. So, wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Brush my teeth. Before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Oh. Bobby, this is toilet sounds. So yeah, I could probably at least make an entertaining half hour if it's not. Sorry, I'm really
Talking
sorry.
about buying up all the gold. Oh, that's funny. But anyway, you've been on the shortest. I don't know if there's a lot of input you'd have, but
I would have a few curious questions to point at you guys. This is a gaming podcast, and so you have a news segment, but you can really just you're not reporters, so the news isn't original.
hold on. Kato Kitted Cat says, "Damn it, Bobby, where's the propane in these songs?" I don't think he has any idea how good you do that.
Jesus.
This is just ridiculous. I don't know we're going to ridiculous doing this podcast. I'll tell you what.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Either way, so you're not original reporters on the news when it comes out. You're essentially becoming news curation, and news curation is only valuable if you have a set audience that is going to appreciate you putting that news into a digestible format. So then the next. The real question to ask is, what do you offer that people are not able to obtain otherwise? Which would be your personal investment and your personal commentary.
Yeah.
And for that reason, what makes your personal commentary and experience desirable for people to watch? You stepped away from the what the fuck are you listening to, or something like that. Have you considered the value of the entertainment that you grant from your own persons versus what it is that you want to talk about? Sure, you want to talk about games, but maybe your draw isn't the game. Maybe the draw is you.
Well, yeah, you say that. You say that, and I think of our Windows 10 solitaire conversation with Veg.
Don't start.
I mean,
No. I want to start because.
All right, film me.
Okay.
This brings out Veg's personality perfectly. Did you know that there's premium features to solitaire in Windows 10?
Why? Fucking why?
Yeah, I think Morthod's point is well proven in this example.
Very much so. Yes, that's
so I'm not here to gather you around in a circle, sing Kumbaya, and have rainbows shoot out of your ass. But
that'd be fantastic.
But the idea is you should grab onto.
No, I can't
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. I can't get the rainbows to work. I'm sorry.
The rainbows only shoot out of your ass, Ron, not your mouth, so shut it.
Well, he's talking and shooting rainbows out of the same fucking place.
Anyway.
so yeah, but the idea is take a look at what you offer your listeners, your viewers, and that is the entertainment value of you and the interaction that you have with your co-hosts. And if you can pin down the best sections of the show to bring that out and bring about appropriate rotation and structure it in such a way that you can progress to the next entertaining bit. You don't script it because your interaction is natural and sincere, and that's important. But I have to say that I was here last week and I asked Ron to come back because it was low-key, relaxed, and enjoyable. I didn't have to write anything. I wasn't reporting anything like I do on my other podcasts and scribbling out all the notes of what's happened.
You are stressing out over that, man.
Oh yeah, but here what did I do? This is the game I played. But, this expand it beyond that as long as you're capturing the entertaining portions of your personality. Do the questions that are going to rile each other up. Maybe even play a small game. Make it consider the value of variety. But that would be entertaining.
It would be
You're
entertaining.
right.
I agree.
You're
So,
right.
just take a look at the what you offer and see if you can't turn a variety that has a variety show that has its roots in your game. How did you guys meet? Well, we like gaming, but that it ends there. We listen to the show because, well, we listen to Bob and Tom in the morning because they're fucking funny. Shit. They talk about the news too.
Yep. True.
That's all I have to say.
Alright.
He's wicked smart.
Does anyone other than Dan have anything else to add? 'Cause
Maybe.
if not,
Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself.
Are you talking to me? Sorry.
Dan, let's have you answer your question.
Well, I would like us to actually be a podcast because I think that can bring in more audience. And I realize that takes time and energy from somebody. I assume it's Ron.
Robot Dan.
Because we have a Podbean account or whatever it is. What? Robot?
Yeah, you're fine.
Robot.
You're fine.
Okay. So we do actually like have some of the Cast Addict or any of the various podcast things on a search, but it only goes up to like a few months ago.
Yeah, there's been
So
issues with that.
I feel like that we may have lost some people that may have just been listening to the audio, and so that's the other thing is not everyone has unlimited data, but people can usually stream audio. So I would like us to have just an audio version available for people to listen to the audio, and not have to get the video, because that might stop. Like when I miss an episode and I want to listen to it, I'd have to go on YouTube and then rip the audio so that I can listen to it like in the car or at work or whatever.
Does iTunes not do that automatically? I have no idea.
I don't use iTunes. I use Podcast Addict, but
Oh,
you can tell it to only play the audio if you've already downloaded a video, but you can't tell it to just stream the audio.
Got it. Okay,
But
that makes sense.
That may just be my app. I don't know. I would also have Lorna come around more because she's cool. You should come around more.
You should change the time of the podcast.
See, that's what I said. Anything but that, other than the time zone.
I wouldn't mind moving it back one extra hour.
I don't think that would help her, though.
Central. But it'd help a little bit, but I don't know how it works for everyone else. So, no, I like the format. I do like it when we have less scheduled. I mean, we've talked about having, you've heard us say that we have a script or whatever. And as Ron says, we usually put it together 10 minutes before the podcast. If there's any major news, everyone knows about it. And we just make some notes for ourselves for the most part. But I like it when we don't have a whole lot of that, and we just end up talking about things that come up. Just interesting things that happen to us this week, and gaming, or not always gaming related, usually gaming related, but just interesting stuff about us. And to Morthout's point, it's we don't have like late breaking news. I mean, we don't have. Gabe Ben is not coming on this podcast to announce Half-Life 3, which would be pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure if he did, we'd be the most popular podcast overnight.
Yeah, I agree.
Not ever.
And I don't want to try to make ourselves viral or anything like that either. I mean, it'd be cool if we had more viewership. Again, Mr. Fu, he's always here. He's awesome. And frankly, I'd like to hear from him what he likes about it, because he keeps going back every single week, and that he's the only guy. So Elphias was doing it. Yeah. So whatever he likes, maybe that's something other people would like that we can do more of. I'm not sure who Safathi is, or
That's
Capo
his wife.
Kid. Oh,
and Capo's a gentleman that me and Morpha kind of know.
okay. So hi to those people, and to you guys who are watching it now. more boobs.
More boobs.
We will invite your wife on to remedy that.
Hey, don't fucking talk about my sister like that, man. Come on.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He
Wait, your
just said-
sister's your wife? Are you from West Virginia?
No.
Mr. Foo's wife.
Oh.
I don't have a
Is his
wife.
sister.
I'm a
Mr.
lone wolf.
Yeah, Mr. Fu is
Wait.
Captain Damien's brother-in-law, in case you weren't.
Yeah, there we go.
But I mean, he still comes here even though Damien's not here.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because he's cool. I haven't been here in weeks.
I certainly cannot disagree with the prospect that tits make things better.
Unfortunately, tits get you banned from Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch does not appreciate it.
There are ways.
Our ways. Mormon
There are
porn.
ways.
Just Mormon porn it.
Actually, they were just
Evolutionary
talking about
Apothecary
that.
says it needs more salt. We do often provide salt. That's why I was trying to get at with the Windows 10 Solitaire thing. That's tons of salt. Literally tons of salt coming from Veg. Literally.
Yeah. Out of every pore.
Just dripping
Every
off of his
pore.
boobs.
Yes.
No, no one wants that.
No, I'll admit that we don't want that, but
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy. I've been on, I think, probably over half the podcast at this point. I enjoy it. I just jumped on one time as a guest host and never stopped coming back, and they haven't told me to stop coming. So
that's what she said.
Shut your hole.
Haha.
as soon as that left my mouth,
You knew it. You knew it was
I
coming.
knew it, and it was well done. Yeah, and how to do illusionary apothecary as well. Same question for you. Like, what do? Oh, that's right. We need more salt. That's what you said.
Well, his comments are basically going to be, I'm only here because Ronkley and Morph are here.
Probably
Well, that's
more
fine
you
if
than
we
me.
if we can share our audiences and they like all of them, then that's fine with me too.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you guys how often people tune into my stream, but on my stream, I have an interface where at the bottom, one side's got the Self-Destruct Sequence podcast, the other side's got the Six Gaming podcast, and whatever special event I've got coming up next is in between them. I always am plugging these both the podcasts. So yeah, it's
But side question: should we get a Twitch just for Six
we
Gaming?
have discussed this with Shosan.
Yeah.
Shosan said he was thinking about doing that because it kind of sucks because even though we're at the same place on YouTube, we're not always at the same place on Twitch, and Twitch is where we interact more with our listeners.
Right.
So it would seem to make sense for us to get our own Twitch account. Now, like me and Morphod, for instance, on Self-Destruct, we have our own podcast, our own Twitch account for that we
Yeah.
use.
I think we ought to.
Yeah, so I definitely think that's something we should look into.
And that way you're not having people trying to figure out where the hell is it going to be hosted today.
Because it used to be like Shosan, like all the time Shosan, and then
Right.
Shosan decides one week that he hurt his back, or
Or if he's
he's pissed off at his wife, or his wife's pissed off at him, or he's got to clean his guns,
He's cleaning his guns.
and has to take a
Polishing
7-hour
his
nap.
rifle.
Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, it's a very good discussion here. So,
I know what you guys need.
uh-oh.
You need a soundboard.
We
Yes,
have one.
We,
It
we,
doesn't
we
work.
had we had a soundboard. It worked great up until Google decided that audio plugins no longer are allowed.
Mm. There has to be a way to get around that. And another thing is, like, can you have like a some kind of okay? Basically, what I want is like a counter. It's like every single week there's going to be a counter. Somebody's job is to hit that button to increment it, and it could be like it could be how many fat jokes. Okay, now we're up to 23. Somebody
Number
presses
of
this
face
makes a
palms.
fat joke.
Face
The
palms.
number of face palms, the number of
palms.
times the word fuck is used. You know, just something that counts, but you don't tell the audience what it is. They have to guess at the end.
You have to figure it out what it is.
Ooh, I
Right,
like
right.
that.
That's kind of funny, actually.
I don't know if Hangouts. I know on some people who broadcast on Twitch that do gaming talk shows or whatever have like they have the video of the person who's talking come up higher, and they have different information on the screen, and it isn't just a hangout window, but
Like for instance, one of the streamers that I watch he goes by the name of Squega, and doesn't matter what game he's playing, he has this thing called the kitten counter, and he has his girlfriend come on into chat, and whenever he dies doing whatever he's doing, she will increment that kitten counter, and it's because he's allergic to cats. He doesn't like cats, so every time he dies, the kitten counter goes up by 1. And it's always amusing because sometimes she'll lose track, and sometimes she'll put like ridiculous numbers on there just for no reason. So it's something like that could be pretty entertaining, I think. We'd have to figure out how to.
I do want to see Brock's. He was setting everything up so he could be Max Headroom.
Oh my God!
So I'd like to have him figure that out and come on as Max Headroom.
I mean, he is a space engineer. He should be able to figure this out, right?
Yeah.
No,
Why not?
Yes.
because sometimes reasons.
Veg, you're not making any sense.
When do I ever?
Never.
Good point.
Never ever.
All right. Yeah, and just as a last note, probably the biggest thing that I would change is giving Shosan a thesaurus.
Why not me?
Illustrious.
Yeah,
As always.
Actually, no. That's. I think it's part of his charm.
Yeah, that
also
is,
makes
that
for a
is.
good drinking game for me.
Yes, it does. Or
see,
fills out my
see,
bingo
that-
card every week.
That fits right into the counter game. Like, what are we counting this week?
Yes, that's
Every
true.
time Show says illustrious. Every time he says as always. His favorite.
Every time one of us has had a racist thought during the podcast.
Oh, that would be a hard one for everybody to guess. It's like, why is the button going up?
Lorna, stop being racist.
I
Break the
God,
counter.
Lorna, jeez. She's yeah, that would be very difficult to do. Of course, every time like
Shosan
John?
takes a drink.
How about this? The next time Lorna's on, then we do a make fun of her British words. Count goes up by 1.
You've not done that in ages.
No, we haven't.
Well,
We should.
we kind of did it all the very first night,
Yeah, that's true.
and we'd just be repeating on all the same words.
That's because you all can't speak.
I'm a cunt speak.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a
Everybody
cunt
was
speak.
thinking it. Everybody was thinking it.
Oh Jesus!
See.
Shosan, do you see what you leave me with?
Can't.
Oh, I can't handle this.
Can't.
Can't.
Cool.
I said that you can speak.
You said cunt.
I did not.
You can't speak. All right, so that's like a combination of an O, an A, and H. I think you snuck a fucking U in there. Jesus.
She's British. She has to sneak a U in there.
Use
Say, for
everywhere.
Christ's sake, would you just use a German umlaut?
Man, oh man. I think before this gets a little too offensive, we might have to wrap this up, I think. So,
That's what she said.
thanks again for watching
Oh.
Six Gaming Podcast. Let's go across the pond first. Lorna, say goodbye.
Bye.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
What time is it there?
5:15.
5:15. That's that's morning. Veg,
Good morrow, good night, and fuck your couch.
what did my couch do to you?
Yeah, what is the problem with our couch?
Johnny
Yeah.
Murphy.
Well, hold on. First of all, it's not our couch.
Well, my couch is my couch. That's got a U in it.
Doesn't it have 2 U's for you?
No.
How we
Fuck you has 2 U's.
Well played. Well played. All right. Man, what do you got for us?
There's a voice that I did earlier this week that was new, and I can't remember what it was anymore. I was gonna do a new voice for you.
So you're now the man of 1,001 voices, but you don't know what the 1,001st voice is.
No, it's a mystery.
It's a mystery. All right. Well, thanks for the thought anyway.
Well, I'm glad I could be here, even though I have a horrible cough.
Thanks for sticking around. Mr. Damien?
I sped 65 miles, going like 75 miles an hour the entire way to get to this podcast. Only
Thank
to
you.
realize I have absolutely nothing to talk about because I haven't been playing video games lately. But it's always good to be here. So thank you, everybody.
Nice to see you.
Traffic like a video game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of
Make
like
sure you
playing.
quick save first.
He's playing pole position to get here.
Mm.
Oh,
Definitely
What-
need a quick save. Mr. Morphoth / Jimmy Russells, any parting words?
Rat shit, bad shit, dirty little twat. 69 assholes
assholes
tied in
tied
a
in a
knot.
What?
I don't
Sorry.
know.
I know that's from.
Thanks for having me on to destroy your show again.
We appreciate
I will try not to. I will try to be an interesting variety once in a while, rather than crash your party every week. But I bet you that there's been about half a dozen people who've said that on your show before.
Dropkick. Anyway.
Whoa.
All right, so that'll do it for the Six Gaming Podcast. I am Ron Clay filling in for Shosan. Hopefully he'll be back next week. Until then, see you, bye.